episode of the program Improve State or your first agricultural television in the capital city of Abuja, Nigeria. I'm your girl, Hilda Homsem Fantuam, and again I'm here to, of course, talk about the burning issue that is really affecting Nigerians. Everybody's being affected with that. That is the cost of our vegetable, our common vegetables in the house. Now, in the market, an average person cannot afford a cup, a bowl of tomato, of pepper, and the little things around it. That will be our focus today, to see what you are doing with your backyard and, of course, with your socks. And of course, to do justice to that is our agricultural expert, Mr. Lawal Olushola Lawal, who is ready also to share and advise farmers on what to do, most especially in this situation. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we will hear from him. People don't eat tomatoes now, and there's open doors for other means of vegetable. Improve seat on your first agricultural television. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Tomato can be classified by the size and the shape of their fruit, or by the growth habits of the plant. Tomato plants are classified as non-climbing or climbing. Climbing tomatoes plant grow as bushes. Sticking them is optional, and plants are usually left unsprout, while non-climbing tomato plants grow as bushes. Sticking them is optional, and plants are usually left unsprout, while climbing tomato plants grow as vines and often need pruning and sticking to control their growth. Tomato plants are best grown in full sun. Choose a location that will receive at least 6 hours of full sun each day. It needs a well-drained soil enriched with plenty of organic matter. Prepare the soil by weeding it thoroughly, digging it by loosening, and then add good quantity of animal manure or compost, and have your improved varieties of tomato seeds to stay away from pests and diseases, or practice crop rotation. Tomato plants can be grown in containers. If possible, choose a variety that is recommended for containers growing. Use a good quality potting mix and make sure your container is large enough for manual plants. A minimum of 40 liters is recommended for tomatoes. During the growing season, keep in mind that container-grown plants may need additional fertilizers to encourage healthy growth. Tomato seeds can be sown directly into the garden or through seedlings which has been raised in tray or containers in the nursery and transplanted to the garden once established. Sow seeds directly in the garden 5 mm deep and 50 centimeters apart, with rows between 60 to 70 centimeters apart. Make sure the soil is moist but never wet or dry. Seeds should germinate in around 5 to 10 days at a soil temperature of 21 to 27 centigrade, and the seedlings should be protected from pests and diseases. Tomato is a tender crop that is sensitive to frost. Do not transplant seedling or sow seeds outside until all dangers of fruit has passed. In raising the seedlings, farmers should follow the following steps. Fill trays, punnets, or jiffy pots with a good quality seed raised mix, or use soil starter pellets. Sow seeds 5 mm deep Keep soil moist but never wet or dry. Seed should germinate in around 5 to 10 days at a soil temperature of 21 to 27 centigrade. Transplant seedlings to the garden once they have their first true leaves and are large enough to handle, usually 5 to 10 centimeter tall. Plan out. Spacing plan between 50 centimeters apart, with rows between 60 to 70 centimeters apart. Tomato plants may need watering during the growing season. Water when the soil is dry about 5 centimeters below the surface. Test this by scratching away a little soil with your finger. Water deeply in the early morning or late afternoon. Avoid watering the leaf of plants to avoid fungal diseases. If soil was well prepared, no extra fertilizer will be needed. In the case of poor soil, you need to give your plant an extra boost. Application of a balanced fertilizer or a formulated fertilizer for fruit and vegetable can be beneficial. Apply slow release fertilizer at a recommended rate when transplanting or when seedlings are 50 to 10 centimeters tall. Apply liquid fertilizer at the recommended rate and frequency while plants are fruiting or flowering. Tomato plants need a well-drained soil, enriched with plenty of organic matter. Prepare soil by weeding it thoroughly, digging it over to loosen it, and adding aged animal manure or compost. Keep the area free of weeds until planting. Practice crop rotation to reduce the chance of pests and diseases becoming pervasive in your garden. Do not plant tomatoes in the same position 2 years in a row. Tomato plants can be grown in containers. If possible, choose a variety that is recommended for a container growing. Use a good quality potting mix and make sure your container is large enough to mature plants. A minimum of 40 liters is recommended for tomatoes. During the growing season, keep in mind that container grown plants may need additional fertilizer to encourage healthy growth. Tomato seeds do not require any treatment such as soaking before sowing. Tomato seeds can be sown directly into the garden or seedling. Transplant seedlings to the garden once they have their first true leaf and are large enough to handle. In cool climates, tomato seeds can be sown indoors, that is within 6 weeks before the last expected frost. Grow them in a warm position with plenty of natural light. Tomato plants may need watering during the growing growth. Tomatoes should be ready to harvest in approximately 60 to 100 days. Fruit is ready when it starts to change color. Harvest fruits by cutting with snips, staccato, or by twisting to separate from the stem. Harvest regularly to encourage more fruits. If stored at a room temperature, fruits will continue to ripen after harvest. For a short-term storage, harvested fruits can be kept at room temperature. To extend the storage life, fruits can be kept in refrigerators. For long-term storage, fruits can be frozen, canned, or dry. Like all plants, tomato is susceptible to some pests, diseases, and other problems. Below are the list of some common problems gardeners encounter when growing tomato plants. We have the queen lime fruit fly that lays its eggs on the fruit, causing it to rot from the inside. Fruits will fall prematurely and larvae can be seen if affected fruit is cut open. Practice good garden hygiene by disposing of fallen fruits. Protect fruits from insect exclusion, knitting, and install traps to monitor fruit fly populations. Aphids are small. They are 2 to 4 mm long, sap-sucking insects that congregate on the new shoots or the undersides of leaves. They can cause leaves to wilt or become discolored and also extract honeydew, which can attract ants and other insect pests. To manage this is to remove them by spraying with a garden hose. Apply a soap or alcohol spray or encourage organic methods. Whitefly is a sap-sucking insect related to aphids. They are often found in large numbers on the underside of a leaf and will swarm in clouds when disturbed. Plants may have yellowing leaves or may wilt, and growth will be slow. Whitefly can be removed with a garden hose or spray. Badly affected plants should be destroyed. Dispose of affected fruits, water regularly, and correct soil pH and nutrients if required. Herbs to protect the fruit. Split or cracked fruit is most often caused by overwatering or too much rainfall while fruit is developing. The fruit grows more quickly than the skin, causing the skin to split. Watering evenly and mulching thickly can help moderate soil moisture and reducing splitting. Pick any ripe fruit before it spoils. Dispose of inedible cracked fruits as it can introduce rot and diseases to the fruit. Pets, birds and other animals can ruin a large percentage of your harvest overnight. Physically exclude pests by using netting or cages. Armyworm, cutworm and other caterpillars can also eat the inside of fruits, making it inedible. Young caterpillars burrows into soft fruits, leaving just a small telltale hole in the fruit skin. Monitor fruits and remove any caterpillar you see. If necessary, use fruit bags. The physical protects the fruit or spray it. Welcome back. Before we went on the break, I asked, what are you doing with your backyard land or your sacks that you're just throwing around? With the current situations happening right now in Nigeria, it's scary. We just don't have problem of seeds. The climate is not helping and everything around it. Welcome to the program, Mr. Lawal.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
How are you coping with the rate and the prices of tomato now? I don't know whether the seeds have gone in. I don't know everything.
It's crazy and it's touching everybody.
It's touching.
It's touching everybody actually.
What is the cost? Is it that the seeds are now expensive or they are nowhere to be found or
Yeah.
the lands are no longer available?
Yeah. This can be attributed to so many factors.
Okay.
It can be attributed to so many factors. One of the factors that I see is that is the insecurity.
Okay.
Insecurity, the issue of kidnapping, banditry, and herders farmers clash. This has driven so many people so many farmers out of the farms. The farmers are now afraid to go to the farm because of kidnapping or because of attack from herders. So this can be one of the possible cause, because this definitely is reducing the inflow of food commodities, not only tomato or pepper. So another thing, even the one that are being produced, Nigeria, we have this kind of habit. We depend on ourselves for commodity, while the north depend on the south for tubers like cassava.
Sure.
Yeah, we in the south most times, not that they cannot grow cassava, but the quantity they grow is not substantial like the quantity that is being grown in the south.
Yeah.
So people in the south also depend more on people in the north for vegetables, peppers and tomatoes. Not that they are not growing in the south, but the quantity they grow is not much like that. So, and if you look at it, this issue of petrol price increase, this one has increased. The last time I heard, I was told that to move a truck of tomato from Sokoto to Lagos before used to cost 500,000 naira. It's now 1.5 million naira. So all these things will add up to the price. So it's definitely, and most importantly, we can say about the quality of our farming practice, the farming practice of our farmers. Because we cannot continue to be doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results, especially in a situation whereby the climate is changing. The climate is changing, farmers must find a way to adjust in terms of using improved seed that are produced to withstand all these changes in the climate, seed that are produced to withstand pests and diseases. So I think if we focus more on this, we'll be able to cushion some of this effect. If farmers are using improved seed, better seeds, we'll be able to improve our productivity and be able to fight this kind of inflation that is happening with tomato and pepper particularly. Yeah.
All right, now we have small backyard farm in our house, or sacks, as the case may be. What is your advice? What do you think we should do to help, cut that off our budget? Yeah,
so it's a self-help.
Yes.
It's a self-help. Anybody that have a backyard and is using or engaging that small piece of land to grow vegetables or to grow some other food item at home is not only helping him or herself, it's helping the society at large. Because when you grow tomato in your backyard or in a sack in your backyard, you are taking your own demand out of the demand in the market, of the market. So the pressure on the goods in the market will reduce, and when the pressure reduces, the price will come down.
Sure.
So it's one of the ways by which we can help ourselves to fight this food inflation, by cultivating all those small pieces of land at our backyard to grow some small vegetables, pepper, tomato, okra, potato, sweet potato, and so many other things. Watermelon can be grown at our backyard. So it's a way by which we can help ourselves and help the country at large. Very, 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 very important way.
All right. Now, for tomato.
Yeah.
Let's pick tomato now.
Yeah.
From the nursery to the harvest, how many period, what is the duration that you think a farmer can do to harvest
tomato? If you want to do tomato, you can raise a nursery, and the nursery will be ready to be planted within 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks. Yes. You are ready. You can take it from there and plant, whether in your backyard or in your farm. And when you take it to the farm, within two months or so, it starts flowering, then you start harvesting. And it's not something you harvest once, you continue to harvest at interval before the tomato will get tired, and then you can repeat the process. Yeah.
All right. We go on the street to find out the cultivation period that most of our farmers are scared of. It just takes a period of 2 weeks for a mature tomato to be ready for harvest. Why then do you suffer and go through the stress that we are going through? Let's contribute. We'll go on the street. We'll come back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria (ARCN) coordinates the activities of research institutes and is responsible for supervision, regulation, coordination of research activities and programs of higher institutions in Nigeria. And Professor Hamidou Shaributu, since assumption as Executive Secretary of ARCN in April 2020, has solidified the transformation of agriculture in Nigeria through strategic and meaningful execution of research fundings for improvement of the agricultural sector.
For grains, we have the parabolic solar dryers. These are specialized solar dryers used for drying agricultural produce such as whole grains, yam and cassava chips, fruits and vegetables more efficiently. It is made of a special material that concentrates the rays of the sun within the enclosure while eliminating harmful ultraviolet radiation. Products dried are free from contaminants and are hygienic.
The parabolic shaped solar dryer is a need-based technology because virtually when we travel all over the country, you will see by the roadside, you see people drying all sorts of agricultural produce. Some spread their own on bare ground, and by the time the vehicles are moving, the dust stay on the products. The reptiles will come, they will eat whatever they can eat, drop their feces and their urine on it, and the owner comes in the evening to pack everything together and still eat that product. And the product has been contaminated, and we feel this is not right, and it is part of our mandate to make sure that we set it right, and that was what led to this, so that we can solve this problem at the grassroots level. Instead of drying by the roadside, drying on just bare ground in their villages, when they have this as a drying center, everybody in the community can bring their product there, spread on the tray, and they get it dry under hygienic condition that is covered. And the dryer also have another property to screen the ultraviolet ray of the sun, which is also can cause hazard to human health.
Welcome to Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Kuru, Jos, Plateau State.
The atomic absorption spectrophotometer, AFS, is an instrument which is used for the determination of metals that are dissolved in source.
Plantation. Put it Welcome to Production Farms, where we're going to take you around our production tanks and a practical fisheries and integrated farm. We integrate the farming system with a banana and plantain and so many aquatic animals.
Since then, Professor Shaributu has operated as visionary captain by restoring the council's glory with the first ever agricultural television and radio station in Nigeria, with well-equipped studios parading state-of-the-art equipment.
The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria also has a brand new electronic library to further promote research and visualizations of deep thoughts on agricultural development in Nigeria.
The museum, located in the Senator Abdullahi Adamu Center, is an agricultural museum saddled with the responsibility of keeping records of agricultural findings, discoveries, researches for continuity and history purposes.
The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria is wearing a new look under the stewardship of Professor Garba Hamidu Shaributu, who says, "Alone, I am nothing, but together, I am something." ARCN,
promoting agriculture.
When tomatoes was high, how were you managing?
me, I stop buying fresh. I make use of that's
Sachet.
sachet tomatoes. Yes.
Okay, so but now it is. Are you back to the tomato, or you are?
If it gets cheaper, I don't mind.
Oh, you don't mind.
Yes.
But so you still go for your sachet tomato.
Yes, till the price comes to something I can afford.
You can afford.
Yes.
People are going into cucumber and other things. Did you also go into cucumber, or you stick to your sachet tomato?
I stick to my sachet.
All right. So what advice do you have now?
I don't know. But to me, what I can afford, if I feel something is much for me, I'll move to something my money can get. So since this one is I don't use sachet tomato before. I make use of fresh. So since the price got high, so I just start using the sachet because it's better for me.
All right.
I know go and wait me and not reach.
Hope you heard from our people out there. It takes 2 weeks to raise a nursery, 2 months to harvest our tomato. And so what advice do you have for our viewers out there?
So our viewers at home, food business is everybody's business. So if you have a small backyard, even if you don't have a backyard, you have a small space, everywhere is cemented, you can farm in sack. And tomato is one of them. Yes. You can grow your tomato in sack. You can do it at your backyard. So it's a way of helping yourself and helping the society at large. So let's just embrace this practice.
Thank you very much. You heard from the agri expert himself, Mr. Lawal Olushola Lawal. Thank you so much for finding time to be here with us. All right, this is still Improved Saints on your first agricultural television. I tell you that we all need to put our hands on deck to see that we kick this off. Enough with the rate at which we are suffering. We don't need to go through all the stress, but at least let's contribute and make effort to see that we eradicate hunger from Nigeria. Thank you so much. I remain Hilda Homsom Phantom saying keep a date with us next time for another episode of the program. Take good care of yourself.